All right, so you know how like if you were making music back in the day, like late 90s, early 2000s,
Yeah,
you probably have like a whole stack of old CDs somewhere.
for sure.
And, you know, maybe some of those have like entire projects on them that you did on like a Roland VS880 or VS1680.
Oh yeah, those were big. Those were really powerful for the time.
Yeah, they were like a pretty big deal, right? Like as far as digital studios went in those days.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were like a major step forward for a lot of people in terms of being able to record digitally, and a lot of people did really great work on them.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like, you know, back then the workflow is kind of like you do all your stuff on there,
Right.
and then you back it all up to CD, right?
You'd usually use like a SCSI CD recorder.
SCS.
Yeah, SCSI was like
Yeah.
a specific type of connection for computers back then. You don't see it so much anymore.
It's like the future, and then it wasn't the future.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that leaves a lot of people today with a bit of a problem.
Big problem.
Yeah, because you have all this music on these CDs,
Yeah.
but they're in this like proprietary Roland track format
Oh yeah.
that you can't really open anymore.
Can't get into it.
Not easily. No. Like with a modern digital audio workstation like what we use today to make music, it's like having the wrong key for the lock.
It's like time capsule you can't open.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. Like, how can you actually get into those old projects?
Unlock the vault.
Right, bring them into your current setup.
And it's so interesting how quickly digital formats become obsolete.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make this big investment, you put all this creative energy into it, and then suddenly the technology moves on, and you're left with these recordings that you can't really access anymore.
It's kind of sad in a way.
Yeah, it is in a way, but you know, the good news is there are ways to deal with this, and like we were reading, there are services out there that can convert these old proprietary formats into like high quality WAV files.
Yeah, that's like the universal language now.
Pretty much, yeah. And once you've done that, it opens up so many possibilities.
I mean, just think about it. You can take those old projects, and instead of them just being memories, they become something you can actually work with again.
Exactly, you can remix them. You can use all the tools and plugins that your modern DAW has.
Yeah.
You know,
Imagine the editing power.
yeah.
Do you remember trying like fine-tune things on those tiny little screens on the VS880 or 1680?
Oh yeah, it was like using a microscope.
It was like, and now you can see everything laid out on your nice big monitor.
Exactly.
With all the precision of today's software.
It's a game changer.
And what's really cool is you can potentially get access to all the individual tracks.
Oh yeah, you know, like the VS880, it had like a ton of virtual tracks.
It's just like 64, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a lot for the time.
Yeah, and imagine being able to like isolate and work with each one of those sounds.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we were talking about this before, but like, what about applying modern plugins and effects to these old recordings?
Oh yeah,
Like, you could completely change the character of them.
absolutely.
Like, blend the sound of the past with today's sonic palette.
It's like time traveling with your music.
And, you know, if we kind of zoom out a little bit, I think it's really about preserving your creative history
Yeah.
and giving it a chance to evolve.
I mean, these aren't just files, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like documents of your journey as a musician.
Absolutely. And I think what this means for you, the listener, is that those CDs that are, you know, maybe gathering a little bit of dust might actually have some incredible untapped potential.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, there's a real chance to rediscover music that you might have forgotten about, you know, projects that still have life in them.
Yeah, that, you know, you shelved because you thought they were inaccessible.
Yeah, and that brings up, I think, a really interesting question. You know, how much amazing creative work is kind of locked away on these seemingly outdated discs?
A lot, I bet.
And I think the main thing to remember here is that just because technology moves on, you know, doesn't mean your creative work has to be lost.
Exactly.
Like, those recordings don't have to stay trapped in a format that you can't use anymore.
Yep.
So, you know, thinking about all this and the tools that are available today, what could you do with those musical ideas that you captured years ago?
Yeah, what new directions could you take them in? What might you rediscover when you go back and look at those old CDs?
Pretty cool stuff to think about.
Definitely.
All right. Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
It was fun.
Yeah, this was great.
All right.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.